Hello, everyone. Welcome to C-Suite Talks. We are focused on industry leaders, introducing you to some of the most interesting businesses and people today. We're focused on women, money, and power, as well as diversity in all areas. I'm Dianne Gubin, co-CEO of C-Suite, along with...
I'm Beth Hilbing, co-CEO of C-Suite. Thank you and welcome today. This week we're speaking with Samantha Brown, CEO, founder, CEO of Connect More, creator of the Human Code, world's favorite communication tool. Can't wait to hear about it. Passionate about deciphering the art of effective communication, Sam created the Human Code to empower individuals and teams with unparalleled clarity in their interactions. With a proven record of transforming relationships and enhancing professional performance, she's dedicated to unraveling communication intricacies. As a digital transformation leader with a passion for solving big global problems, there's a lot of them, Sam has committed her career and energy to mentoring and investing in the next generation of youth in technology and future leaders. So welcome, Samantha Brown, today.
Welcome, Sam. And by the way, Sam is in Charlotte, North Carolina area, correct?
That's correct.
Right. Beth is in LA today. I'm in New Jersey, so we're covering the country. So the Human Code, it's you've described it, or it's been described as the world's best communication tool. Can you elaborate? Tell us what it is, why you developed it, and what you're doing with it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Wonderful to connect and see you wonderful women again. It is the world's favorite communication tool because it's simple. It works. It's simplifying communication in a world that we are surrounded with more and more input, more data, more noise, a lot of times valid noise, a lot of times not. It actually bridges the gap. It's a visual tool that bridges the universal gap of our gender, our generations, our industries, our everything, being human. If you are human and you work with any form of tech, then it is the tool that simplifies life.
So tell us about how you came up with the idea for the tool, how you created it, how you kicked the business off, because people will be interested in knowing that from the
what you use it for.
entrepreneurial
I'm still not clear on what it does.
Yes. Okay. So my story is started as I've been, 20 plus years in the computer industry and IT and tech. I was system engineer, computer programmer, COBOL. If anyone's familiar, I'm going to date myself a little bit, right? What I learned a decade ago when my children were in middle school and high school, and I was leading very stressful projects and ERP implementations in organizations. And I think, for those people that are, yeah, exactly. It's a lot. And so I say I was mom. I was really being manager of mayhem, MOM, manager of mayhem in my personal and professional life. And I'm going to try not to get emotional here. I was not doing it very well. And, I wasn't the best version of myself during that time because I was truly trying to show up for everybody. And it was, everything was suffering at that time. So all of that to be said, and that's probably for an after party show.
We're there. C-Suite After Dark.
There you go. We could totally dive into that. But ultimately what happened was I was trying to figure out, I couldn't find a tool that worked for me. And so what I always knew is if you don't know where to, you just create it, right? If you can't find it, create it. So I took all of my education in neuroscience, psychology, computer programming, all of business, and integrated it all up into one element of an infinity. I don't know if you can see it, but we can, they'll be able to see it on the website. It literally is that.
Look at that.
That is the Human Code. It's that simple. No words, right? It's color coded. So I love to help people think in blocks, right? Because, whether we need to structure that. And so I needed structure, and I needed to treat my family, myself, and my team with love and respect. And I didn't know how to do that and be mom, manager of mayhem at work and at home. And so without being rah, like the Hulk coming out, there's other ones that are associated with being very driven or in our red zone of genius. That was what the problem I was trying to solve. And so when I finally learned how I could speak better to developers, to the CEO, to the CIO, to sales and marketing VP, to finance, and all of the different teams, and my daughter, my son, and my husband, who, even though I'm grateful we're getting ready to celebrate 25 years of marriage together, there were days where we would look at each other and go, who are you? And ladies, it took one time during that very stressful time in my life for my family to say, this is like the ultimate I lost it moment. What's for dinner? That's all it took. The question of what's for dinner. And I was just so stressed everywhere trying to do all the things that was just a big pivot aha moment for me to say, no, we're going to do this. We're going to figure out a new way to communicate and authentically connect with each other.
I'm
And
never allowed to ask that question again.
never.
Okay,
I
so
like
now
that
you come up
with ask her that every day.
Yeah. So once you came up with the concept, once you thought about that, is this software? Is it a computer-based input? How does it all work? That's kind
It
of
is not. And that's the beauty of it. It absolutely can become that in the future. We do have visions of helping integrate in more technology ways. But the beauty of it and what makes it so fundamentally unique and special is that it goes back to our core. Being human, it's how we think, how our brain processes information, and how we speak. Input, process, output. It's that simple. So now when you walk around, it's like gamifying it bringing self-awareness and gamifying this in life, the game of life. So now I respectfully challenge everyone listening today to go to any store online, Google search something, and you will see these 4 colors everywhere. So that's your game.
Okay.
So now it's something that self-regulation tool, a stress management tool. It has been a beautiful blessing for people with anxiety, high levels of anxiety, resetting and knowing how to communicate with respect for others. It doesn't mean you have to agree with what someone's saying. However, it helps know that if you can focus with yourself and know what zone they're speaking in right now, what zone are they thinking in right now? Yellow, blue, green, or red. It'll help you frame up your mindset. And now it may respectfully challenge and check in with yourself, which I don't think we do enough of. I'm not sure we're really taught how to do that unless it's wisdom throughout. You've failed forward enough in life. You kind of figure those things out. And just know that that's how you engage with someone now. Meet them where they're at. Know your audience. It's a
So, Sam, it's coming across to me kind of like a 360 tool where you learn your type and then you learn the other person's type and then you figure out how they need and what their wants and how they communicate and other elements. So is it similar to that?
It absolutely is. It very much is. And to be fair, a lot of my inspiration came from in the corporate sector. It came from my training from DISC, right? From the DISC.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And here's what happened though. We spent like tons of money, tons of time training our employees and our stakeholders in these massive ERP projects and programs. And it's valid. It just isn't actionable in a day in the life of, right? The teams weren't actually applying it. And so for me, that's kind of a waste of time and energy and money when we're not actually applying it in every scenario that we're going to. So what I knew I could do now is help all levels of the organization, all people speaking more extroverted, introverted, people focused, process focused, all those things rolled up into an infinity of 4 color zones. So now if my CIO needed more blue time to process information. I'm not going to go in full yellow with him and blah, 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 give him a data dump of everything, right? And it actually reduced the friction. So now we're speaking each other's language, which elevates us to have a unified language. And that's why I feel like it is something that can be gifted to the world. It literally
No.
is that ability to think, respect each other, to think differently and speak unified when we need to. So elevate ourselves as human beings and bridge that gap.
Right. So, as a career coach and a corporate executive business coach, I know you've worked with many leaders as you just described. So what are the mistakes that you see leaders doing in connecting with their employees or with their teams or with vendors or whoever? And how can they rectify it? Maybe using this beautiful
The human
infinity
code.
tool.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. I think if I had to, I mean, there's a lot, right? There's a lot to unpack there. But if I had to focus on one word, I'm going to say I don't think leaders today, or individuals who are growing into that leadership role, they're not actively listening well enough. And it's not that they maybe don't know how. I just think that we're surrounded, again, back to what I was saying in the beginning when we were chatting. There's just so much. We're asked to do so much more with less, right? We're so disconnected, even though we tend to be getting more disconnected, even though we can say technically we have the capability to be more connected, like we are here today, right? In 3 different locations, which is beautiful use of tech. However, other uses of tech have the risk of feeding us data. And I always tell all of my stakeholders, we're only as good as, our decisions are only as good as our data. Right?
That's great. Yeah. So how do you see the role of communication evolving for leaders? And then how do you see the interplay with AI? And now they're actually creating robots that have skin or flesh and human-like learning. And there was a whole thing yesterday I was watching on dating with that. But anyways, so how do you see this all evolving over the next 5 years?
Thank you. I see it connecting beautifully. I shameless plug, I see it connecting more authentically with the humanity and technology integrating as one. Because what I know from being a computer programmer myself is those 4 quadrants represent how we process data, right? And with AI again is only as good as we prompt it. That it's only as good as the data, and it's only as good as we prompt it. And so what I feel like is when people are able to think using the human code, it's like a lens of love, right? It's kind of like that infinite, like that superhero mask that we see. Just think of it as little infinity lens of love. And what lens are you looking through when you prompt this communication with another human being or technology, right? So that's one of the things that I love teaching people about AI is how to speak with it, how to have a conversation and prompt it. It's a different way, but it's not different than how we should be. I call it the dirty S word, should, how we should be communicating and prompting ourselves to think about how to have that healthy, authentic conversation with another human being.
Right, right. Well, since so much work is remote now, I know we kind of touched on that. How do you think somebody could use this best to communicate with remote employees or remote management, right?
I love this. Okay, what I teach people in my workshops, and it's so exciting. Okay, if you have a phone, right, and on your keyboard, the emoticons, right, we have the 4 colored dots. They're little circles in your
Right.
emoticon. So if you go to your little keyboard,
Yeah.
you'll see those dots. I think you could type yellow circle on some phones and it'll just pop.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
You
Okay.
go towards the far right towards it's a little different on Apple or Samsung and stuff, but I teach people basically in 4 minutes how to use your device and one of your platforms that you're on, one of your collaboration platforms, Slack or whatever, Zoom, all of the things, right? This is great. This is new to me, Riverside. I've never experienced this. This is wonderful. We all have that in our chat. So we can use that. It's a universal color coded language. So if I am in the South, I'm probably going to be a little bit more people focused in the beginning and talk in my yellow and my green zones of genius, which says I'm going to connect and talk people oriented. I'm people focused. How are you? How's the family? Just genuinely connecting on that way. Now, flip that script and say that we're in back-to-back meetings and we know this next meeting is a make a decision, get to the point and make a decision, and we got to make it happen. And let's keep meetings less than 20 minutes. So if you're framing that up,
Right.
no worries. If you're framing that up for people to set an expectation, they're actually going to feel so respected and seen and valued when I say, all right, everyone, I'm showing up in my red zone of genius right now. We're going to get to the point. When I speak to you, I'm not being mean or bossy. I'm being direct. I'm being authoritarian. I'm going to keep my comments or my information to around 5 words or less. I'm going to pause. I'm going to ask, does anybody else have any other blue information, any data that's relevant to the conversation? If not, let's keep driving forward and make it happen. And then I'm going to ask for green. Are we all in alignment? That doesn't mean you have to like the decision that is being made. It simply means that in blue zone, you understand the logic of why we made the decision, and then we're going to execute. So now everybody has clear direction. We've got their alignment, their buy-in, and we can go make magic happen with less friction and frustration.
That's awesome. So how do you, what kind of core principles of this connection do you think gets overlooked in the corporate world today?
Ooh, empathy.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Empathy. I come back to, I don't know if you're familiar with the 1 word challenge. I do. I've been doing this for many, many years, and it's been a blessing to me. It's called a one word challenge, and I offer it free on my site. And it's encouraging people to have a 1 word. Like instead of a New Year's resolution, find your 1 word. It'll come to you if you're listening to yourself. And that creates kind of that North Star and that compass to help anchor you and guide you and to focus on how to set yourself up for success towards your goals and your vision, integrating personal and career into one on that journey called life that we're all figuring out, right?
What's your word, Sam?
Love, my word. And actually, I do this for all of my clients. I gift them with at least some kind of visual or digital representation. And it kind of acts like a vision board. That's a big trend that's coming back around now is
Oh, yeah, I know.
vision mapping. And I strongly believe in that because when you can, that's part of why it's hard for us to make our dreams a reality, I feel, is because we can't see it well enough. It's back to that clear vision. Like when you can see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, and you've got to be able to take that beautiful creative genius that we're born with in our soul and quiet the noise long enough to surround yourself with your own thoughts and what your soul is speaking to you, like fuel your soul with that, and then surround yourself with the right people and the right environment. Like we're unstoppable when that happens.
For sure.
No,
Beth, do you
that's
have a word?
awesome. No. Do you, Diane?
I do. My
I'll have
word's
to think about
unlimited
this.
this year.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So as
So
we
back to
wrap
Sam.
up, so as we wrap up, how do you inspire to enhance communication and connection skills? What's the very first step you recommend they take? And what's the biggest mind shift that they need to do?
Ooh. Well, the first step I would say is to connect more with me.
There we go. Yeah, exactly.
Just reach out to me. My email is sam@connectmore.us. And, you can find me on social at the Human Code Coach and visit thehumancode.us to see other information. Just reach out. more. Reach out, especially in the world of mental wellness. Just reach out and talk, connect. You'll find someone to authentically connect with. And I think that is one thing that, whether it's personal or corporate, we need to also do more of. It was really hard to just give you one word on some of these things, but that's the point,
Okay.
right? My actionable advice would be to use the human code as your tool for continuous improvement through life's journey, having holding you accountable, you, myself, all of us accountable for growing with that growth mindset. I love is it Carol Dweck, right, with the growth mindset. And so again, I have so many mentors and books that are just been beautiful to help grow me. And I think that's one thing that's actionable advice I'd give. Use the human code
Awesome.
tool. You're born with it. It's yours. It's a gift. Go make it happen.
Oh, Samantha, that's huge. So thank you, Samantha Brown, CEO and founder of Connect More. And we look forward to finding out a lot more about this path that you're on. So thank you. And thank you to our listeners. Thank you to our sponsors. We can't do this without our sponsors. Our sponsors this year include Kuhn Resnick, which is advisory, assurance, and tax services, City National Bank, Cigna, Breakthrough Beverage, Uncle Nearest, and C-Suite Executive Search. If you're hiring for your team, give us a call. Thank you for listening. And Beth, where can everybody find us?
Oh, yeah. So hit the subscribe button on Apple, Spotify, and everywhere you find podcasts. Leave us a review, 5 stars, of course. You can find us on social media. We put a lot of good content out there for everyone, and we love the interaction. So find us out there. And if you have any questions, we love hearing from you. You can contact me, Beth, @CSWEET.org. And check out our website. We are hosting a summit with Uncle Nearest, September 10th and 11th. It's with a fabulous group of speakers and women like yourself. So check us out at www.csuite.org. And thank you again, Sam, for being a member, but also for helping people go down this huge journey of finding the human code and how to communicate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beth.